Hi, welcome to this week's video. And this week I'm going to talk about two things essentially. It is not a comparison, it is more of positive points maybe. DSLR cameras and mirrorless cameras, two of the best camera systems available right now. I have been a DSLR user for the last decade or so, so I have no particular interest or experience with mirrorless cameras. So when it comes to mirrorless cameras, I have somebody with me who can probably talk about mirrorless camera better than most people do. His name is Ken, or as is known in our social circle, Kenda. Kenda, would you like to join us, please?
Hi.
Thank
Thank you for calling me on the show. Pleased and proud to be with Bobby Roy, discussing cameras with him for a change, more than motorcycles. Yeah, so we're discussing mirrorless and DSLRs. What is your experience about DSLRs?
Well, I particularly love the heft and size and feel of a DSLR camera. I like the size because it makes me feel comfortable holding it. I've been using DSLR cameras all my life, so that is one reason why I love DSLR cameras, is because of the weight, the heft. Of course, mirrorless cameras are light these days, but what made you shift to mirrorless cameras? I remember you were a DSLR user yourself earlier, so why did you shift?
See, the most important point, I had a problem with my elbow, and I had a tennis elbow, and I was looking for something lighter. It's good that Sony got this out, and I had the experience with Sony's for now more than a year, thanks to Sony and some of my friends with Sony, that I got to use the Sony mirrorless. And it is exactly, I agree with that what you're talking about is the feel that you get with it, and the feel that we get with the mirrorless is very different. Essentially, the feel of a mirrorless is very light and it's very discreet. It's very good for street photography. You know, imagine when I'm walking around the streets, this is one of my favorite things which I do because I'm in travel.
Right.
When I'm moving around the streets, you know, just holding this in front of a guy and I want to shoot him, he feels uncomfortable. Whereas when I come with a small camera, smallish camera, you know, I go with them, there are smaller lenses, there's a zoom, there are smaller lenses than this. When I use a camera like this, it's quite discreet. He's not disturbed by my presence.
Correct. I agree with that. But then again, you know, I've used mirrorless cameras in the past, maybe for a couple of hours. But what I feel is they're too small. You know, my hands are small. They're not large as such. But even then, you know, when I hold a mirrorless camera, I feel that, you know, I feel uncomfortable. I completely agree with the fact that, you know, probably we don't shove a camera in somebody's face, and that is how a DSLR feels. Especially doing street photography or you know, stuff, candid weddings maybe. But then again, I particularly love the size. I don't really bother about the size that much. I shoot street as well, so I have to agree and disagree with Kenda on the size front. Now when it comes to an important part of any camera system, lenses, you would have to agree that, you know, Canon, Nikon, or maybe any traditional DSLR camera system has way better lenses than any mirrorless camera in the market, especially when it comes to full frames.
Hold on.
Right.
Not way better quality. We're talking about
way better numbers.
Numbers.
Right.
Quality, you have Batis lenses here. The Zeiss lenses, they're absolutely mind-blowing quality. Mind-blowing. I mean, you are here right now, you're having a fantastic
50
lens,
mm
1.2.
Yes.
It's a fabulous lens.
Yes.
But you got more numbers in lenses. This guy doesn't have numbers.
Right. But then again, when it comes to quality, I'm pretty sure both are equals.
Yeah. I mean,
you'd have to agree on that point at least.
Yeah, I'd agree. Well, I mean, let it be. Let's not go into comparisons in quality. But yes, as far as numbers go, this guy has lesser numbers. These guys have more numbers. But again, to make it clear, we are talking only about full frame cameras.
That's
not
right.
crop factor cameras.
That's right. Because crop frame cameras anyway have very limited number of lenses. Correct. Okay, so the third point that I would love to talk about, probably when it comes to DSLR and mirrorless cameras, has something got to do with image stabilization. See, when I shoot automotive, even weddings, especially in low light, I face problems. I face problems when the shutter speed goes down, because I generally don't use flash. So when the shutter speed goes down, it is terrible. I mean, you have to increase the ISO, which introduces grains, which has its own set of problems. So I would have to agree, you know, that I do face problems when it comes to image stabilization. Dada, please.
Yes. That is where, you know, the big plus with the Sony is that you have inbuilt image stabilization
Yes.
inside the body itself,
Yes.
which when he has used, he knows it. I know, you know it when I'm shooting both video and audio. You can see the difference with the image stabilization, 5-axis image stabilization on this body.
Correct.
Even if the lens doesn't have anything, the body has 5-axis image stabilization. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, even if you're shaking a camera like this.
So the image stays absolutely stable. I mean, I have personally used it. I hope Canon and Nikon and all those major manufacturers are listening, man, because I want an image stabilization system like a Sony in my camera, because I cannot afford to essentially buy lenses which are worth lakhs of rupees just for the image stabilization thingy. So yes, I would have to agree that when it comes to image stabilization, Sony wins it hands down. So Dada, what is the next thing that we're talking about?
Oh, next thing is real lot of fun.
I don't want to talk about that point,
It's
but
ISO.
I have to.
You know, it's ISO. It's the
Yes.
low light performance, especially the one which comes as Alpha 7S and S Mark II. It's called sensitivity. It's absolutely, you can talk about it. You
Yes.
shot with 10,000
Yes,
ISO.
yes. I have shot with crazy ISOs. I mean, right from 100 to about 10,000, 20,000 ISO, which has, I don't know, which does not produce any grains. I mean, oh my god. If I shoot this thing, the 5D at about 1600 ISO, it starts producing grains. It is usable, no doubt, but then again,
It's usable.
yes, it's usable.
It's usable.
But when
It's
it comes
edible.
to,
You know, you throw it.
yes, but when it comes to
Borderline.
Sony, 10,000 ISO is like 400 ISO, man.
You
I mean,
forget about it. I mean, you
yes,
set it at
yes.
10,000 ISO and you move around the city
You
and then
actually keep the ISO on auto and you just sleep over it, you know. it is as simple as that. So now the last thing that I wanted to talk about is something which I am kind of, you know, proud about. Yes,
I knew you
and
would be.
that is battery life. Dada, please talk about the battery
I don't
life.
want to talk about battery life. You have a battery this size, you see.
Yes,
This is the size
yes.
of the battery.
Although
You know?
the size of this battery is substantially larger than that, not really that large, but this thing goes on and on and on. This does not, you know, it has given me in excess of 700 to 1000 shots easily, and
Wow.
you know, even then I have probably a few shots left.
You know,
After that.
if I have to shoot 1,000 shots,
Yes.
my pockets would be full of batteries.
So that is a little bit of a limitation when it comes to mirrorless cameras. But
Little bit? You know,
yes,
that this film is being shot on a 7D.
Yes, yes.
And it's on full battery for the whole length of the film that we have shot till now.
Yes.
We have been doing this for now 45 minutes.
correct.
And of course the length of the video is not 45 minutes. But had I been doing with that, you know, there would be a line of batteries lying
Yes.
over there to, you know, keep changing batteries.
So I just need one battery. Maybe he would have to go to the shop and, you know, buy new batteries every time we are shooting videos. But that is one negative point about mirrorless cameras, is the battery life.
But you know what Sony has done for that?
no, please enlighten me. Dada.
When you buy a Sony,
Right,
you get 2 batteries.
but I don't buy a Sony. So I love Canon. I am a Canon fanboy. So I am particularly, you know, a Canon lover, if you can. But Dada loves Sony. He
No,
has been
I don't
shooting-
love it. I mean, I
He-
just love good cameras.
Right, and he has been shooting with mirrorless systems since a while now. And have you given up on DSLRs, Dada, completely?
No, I still have my 5D. I have the same camera and I use it along with my Sony when and where my health and my strength permits. I carry it along.
Correct.
I've started liking my Sony camera a lot after I've been using these Sony cameras for the last a little more than a year. Thanks again to Sony and my friends in Sony. You are a Canon fanboy, as you said.
Right.
And I'm not a fan of Sony. I'm not a fan of anything. Like, I'm not a fan of any particular motorcycle. But well, we can continue this discussion.
Yes, that is what I was saying. I was thinking about that we can continue this discussion till midnight. I mean, this is an
at
unending
least.
discussion.
At
Yes,
least.
if not for a couple of weeks, we can at least continue till today, till midnight. So I think we should end it right now, Dada. And probably we can continue it in the near future, in the next video or whatever. So thank you, Dada,
It's
for
great pleasure
being
talking
in the
to
show,
you.
being in the show today. And thank you, Kenda. And please stay tuned. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for any future updates that I give about travel, about photography, about automotive, about anything interesting. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.